Awesome. Cool. I think we are live. Yeah. Perfect. So I'm going to be building a website from scratch using WordPress. We have the server is launched, the application's launched. That's it, nothing else here. So we're just going to jump right into building this out. Let me make sure the stream doesn't get cut off when I close out this tab. So I'm going to go to plugins and then just bring in Oxygen. This is going to be a website built from scratch with Oxygen. Okay. Just testing some things out. Oxygen's installed. I'm going to activate the plugin here. This music's terrible. Alright, so with Oxygen we're going to start with a blank install. You can install it using pre-made templates as well. Alright. I'm going to try to narrate as much as possible. I want this to be kind of educational, informative, sort of like a Q&A as well. I'll keep the stream open if we get visitors so we can answer questions. Then I'll keep the stream live, so I'm going to be narrating this because this live stream is going to be posted on YouTube for anyone's reference. Okay, so we have Oxygen installed. We're going to just jump right into creating the main template. So under templates, we can go to add new. I like to call this one main. Oxygen overrides all of the themes as well. So we could actually delete these themes, except for one of them. We're not using any themes with this build at all. No themes, no templates. We're creating our own templates. So we have to keep at least one theme within WordPress. So we actually can't delete this from the WordPress end at least. But yeah, you're using Oxygen to design your website, which entirely disables the WordPress theme system. The theme is never loaded. It has no impact on your site's performance or appearance. I do like to remove the older themes though, just to kind of like clear it up and get it out of there. So yeah, let's go back to here. We have our main template. This is gonna be the template that we load every page with. And this is for a dance studio. And then I have my sort of references over here on my other browser. So I have some ideas of what the client is looking for. I probably want to kind of rework this logo really quickly. Clear off some of these tabs. Okay, the client does want the logo to be changed in general. I tried working on the logo before going live, but let's see. Let's do like a custom size. Let's go 750 wide, probably 250 tall. Yeah, perfect. And let's bring that in here so we have something nice to work with. I know this isn't on the stream right now, so I'm just trying to... Okay, that looks good. The A's are aligned, so we're good with that. So we really just have to make the triangle a little thicker, which does look like we can't do, actually. Let's try something else. Okay, so based on the inspiration sites, we gotta make this larger. Let's go. Just making some last minute changes to the logo. Okay. All right, I think that's good for the logo, so I'm going to get this imported. There we go. That's better. Cool. All right, there we go. All right. All right, little side thing here. Back to Oxygen. We can start with a header builder. I'm going to take a look at the site and see if we can get away with using the header builder. I kind of really like this. So we're going to have the logo and then our links on the right-hand side. I think we can get away with that. So we can just bring in header builder. We're going to drop in an image placement. All of this is really just like CSS, just kind of visual builder for CSS. logo here. That looks good. I also like to make sure that we have dance company logo. I like to make sure that some of the things, especially the logo, are going to be optimized because we got 4% out of that, so it was mostly compressed. The logo is going to be loaded on every single page, so we definitely don't want, we want it to be high quality, but we don't want it to be too large and weighing everything down. So, oh hey Marshall, what's going on? I just saw that, so if you're still here, thanks for hanging out. Got sidetracked with making this logo, so it's a little blurry, but if we bring it down smaller, it should come in nicer. This is a 750. Is it 750 by 250? And then I like to use this. We have this to kind of steal the colors that we need, but this plugin kind of sucks. So I can find a better extension. Alright, this is the one I usually use. Let me get rid of this one. Get rid of that. Okay. This is going to be useful. So we can grab our color from here. Come on. There we go. This is going to be our global color. And make this the background of the header builder, and then we can click here to save it. This is going to be our global blue, and then if we go to advanced, size spacing, we don't want to mess with the margins. There we go. Just kind of give some breathing room there. This is over centered on the left. On the right we can drop in our menu. We have some pre-built options that we could use for the menu. We just have to customize it. This is going to stay over over to the right, which is nice. So we'll have plenty of room there. We don't have a menu created yet, but let me go ahead and take another look. You should create courses on this. Yeah, I'm gonna get kind of get used to teaching as I go. And then I probably could eventually put it into some sort of course. That'd be cool. Alright, so our typography, we're just kind of editing all the different elements here. We want this to be white. Clearly needs some spacing. I don't know why the A's are looking like that in the logo. That's bothering me. Why is it doing that? It's not doing that in the in how it was built here. Why is it doing that? Come on. Okay, let me see if I can fix this quick. We can't have that. Let's take the A's out of there. So this is not a regular font type, so it's like a modified font, which makes it a little bit more unique. But clearly there's an issue with that. So we got one other idea here. So bring in the triangle. Trying to cut out the line in the A. Probably better off doing it like this if it's not gonna work how it's supposed to. That's looking better. Try getting this logo made before I started the build, but I don't want to get too far with a logo that's not the right logo. Okay, yeah, this is the way to do it. So let me just get this done real quick. Oh, it's so close. Can't zoom in anymore. It's like a pixel off. Come on. Oh, that almost works. Okay, I think that works. Okay, cool. Let me just get the new logo in. Yes. All right. I think that works. Okay. All right, bringing in the new logo. So we'll go back here. Let's delete this so it doesn't get confused. Drag in the new logo. Awesome. Hey, Karina. Okay. I had to make some changes to the logo. I fixed the A, I think. Is this the right one? No, it's pulling in from the old one. Okay. It like looks different when I import it. Okay, I think that's good. You could always change it. All right, so back to oops. Trying to move some tabs around. Okay. All right, okay, no more distractions. Okay, so desktop menu, the font type is what I was looking for. So this is a modified font, but we can use, let's make sure we have the right font type. So I'm gonna go into settings, global styles. We have the global color blue saved, and then we'll bring in the dark blue for accent, and then for font, we have our text font and display font. So if certain browsers can't load our fancy font, then we can bring in, we could have it show like another type of font. So this is Ubuntu. This matches the logo. We can see how that looks. Let's make this 20 to start, and let me take a look at the reference. Some more inspiration. Okay. So I think 20 is fine, definitely uppercase, and I think that's good. Go to primary, let's change the spacing, probably want like, start with 6, I think we can go more, try 12, 12 looks good. And I actually want to make this clickable. So if they click the logo, it brings them right to the home screen. So we'll have to make the logo 100% and then resize it with the link wrapper that we just put it in. So let's say that's pretty good. I might bring in a higher resolution version of the logo just so it just more like high resolution retina display. Okay, so we can do hover effects, we have the drop downs, we at least need to make sure the drop down background color set to white, okay, and then the link colors will then change to our global blue. And then for hover, we can do the opposite, global blue, and then white. And what else? We need spacing. Drop down links. So we did 12 here, so that looks better. And then let's do 6 on the side. Maybe 12 on the side? Yeah, 12 looks better. We do box shadow, so shadow color, we'll go with like a gray. I'm gonna save that as our box shadow gray. Add a little blur, and then now just kind of gives a little bit more dimension there. So that's just like more of a personal thing I like to do. I might make this a little darker though. Let's see how that looks. Okay, this is gonna be the dark gray shadow. Close out of this. Okay, I do need that open. Okay. I think that looks pretty good. That's what we have already. All right, and then so this is our main template we're building. The intersection, this is going to pull any content that we create as far as like the home, about, and gallery pages. The main template is going to be the same. We have the header and footer. Drop in the footer section. I like to put 2 sections here, and these are going to be the darker versions of our main color. So we're going to use our color picker. Grab that color blue. And then we'll start with that for our background color. And let's take a look at the, okay. I do like the blue from the inspiration that we have, so we're just gonna go a little darker here. I kind of like, I think that's a little too dark. Let's go there. This will be our dark blue. And then for the bottom section, we'll just go a little bit darker than that, kind of creating the color palette as we go. And then let's go with that. We'll call it darker blue. And then in here, of course, we're going to put our copyright down in this section in the footer here. So let's grab in the code block. The code block is going to contain a little bit of PHP in there. This is going to be so that the year updates depending on what the current year is. Trying to do everything with split screen. Okay, here we go. So we can bring in so echo date is going to give us the year, the current year. So we have copyright echo date year, and then business name Pyramid Dance Company. Center it, and let's make sure that's white. And go into typography. We could also do this with code, but this does the same thing. So Pyramid Dance Company white. Let's drop in basically our signature. So website by Realize Websites. The link opens up in a new tab as to not to disturb the traffic if anyone's curious to take a look. And this is going to all just be white. This will be bold. Typography. white. A little bit of spacing, let things breathe. I'll make this white as well. Okay. This section is too big. Let's bring it down. Standard 75 padding. I think 12 is good. 12 is a little too much. Go 24. Alright. Down here is going to be the main footer. Pull up the inspiration site. I'm going to have to go full screen with that. Alright, so it's pretty standard. I like the one site was chosen for inspiration. There's a lot of elements that I like to use with my build. So I think the logo will be fine with this blue. Alright, let me pull up something real quick. There's something else I like to do with this, although it doesn't really look bad. I like to do this instead. So I'm gonna basically invert the logo or make it just all white. So let's make that white. Let's make that white. Make that white. Okay, one more idea. Let's make this high quality. I'm going to bring in the high quality version of the logo while I'm here. So this will be our Retina logo. Pyramid Dance Company Retina. So for certain devices like phones, they could display logos at higher quality. We have to find a balance between not having images that are too large that are going to weigh the site down, and because we want to get like a good SEO score. But we also want the website to look good. So let's bring this one in, and I'm actually going to export this one. It's going to be inverted. So let's go back here, upload the Retina. This is going to be invert. Okay, that stands out a little bit better. Is there something wonky with that? Okay, I think it's just the screen. Alright, we'll see how that looks in the live version. Bring this in here. I want to get the inverted version of the logo. Where's the inverted? Oh, that's why. Download. Go background remover. Might be good. PNG version of this with a transparent background. I think 900's fine. Alright, I think that looks good. It looks good from the preview. So this is all stuff that would be part of a branding kit, which we're kind of just creating as we go. Dance Company white. Okay, that looks a little cleaner. So that's typically what I like to do with the logo on the footer when we're working with the darker backgrounds. Okay, back to the preview. So we're gonna have, let's kind of make this a little bit smaller. Let's go 45. So usually links, don't want to use a heading down here. Let's go with the light blue. Let's go 24, might be too big. Let's go 18. Just make it bold. I think just bold is good. I think we can go, yeah. So links, or we can call navigation. I'm trying to think if I want. We're gonna go lighter blue. No, I think that might be fine. I think we have to make it bigger though. 20 links. Let's go links and then get in touch, contact. Yeah. So we have site structure. Home, about, classes, gallery, contact, registration, and then the contact information. Oh, I forgot. Alright, I might have to kind of leave it at this for now. We have usually our two different kinds of links. Socials could work. Location. Contact. I think this might just be a 3 column for now. Links and contact information. This still needs to be larger. Let's go 24. Looks good. And this can be smaller. Let's go 33. Yeah, that's good. Alright, so that's basically the gist of the main template. We have the header, the footer, and let's take a look at the kind of build out the responsiveness of everything. We're going to put our links down there, our contact information down there, just creating the main layout. So this would be basically small screen computers, laptops, and then we have now the tablet display. So of course here this needs to toggle into the mobile menu. And then this needs to be way smaller. Everything else looks good. We could adjust the links later. Maybe we could put those in there. So we'll go vertical. Text is going to be white. And the spacing, probably 6, 0 on the left and right. This whole thing needs to be left aligned, right aligned. Cool. Considering putting contact next to the logo. I usually don't, but I think that makes more sense in this case. Okay. Alright, so we might as well build this out real quick. Hover active. We don't want a background color. We don't want border color. We could do... I think we can just do the blue. So hover text color, we'll go to the blue. That looks fine. And then this should be a little bit larger. And I think we're pretty much done with that. We're not showing drop downs. So no drop downs. And text, we want the font size to be maybe 18. Okay, that looks good. Alright, so tablet, this does not need to ever be mobile. This does not need to be a mobile drop down. So we'll say never. And I think we want to center this. Okay. And then this is now mobile. Mobile menu, menu style, background color is going to be that dark blue. Then we have the white. Open needs to be white, so the open icon layout needs to be white. And we can play around with some of these icons. Do like that better. That's kind of the one I've been defaulting to lately. Margin to the right. Let's give some space. Menu text, menu. Let's see. I don't really need the menu text. You can always add it, but I think I'm going to get rid of it. In this case, I think the demographic would understand that that's a menu icon. Let's make it a little larger. Okay. Let's see if we have other hamburger options. There we go. Yep, that's what I'm looking for. I think that's good. Okay. Open, close icon layout. That's larger. Margin to the right, 12. I think we make it even larger. Let's go to 45 with that. Position from the left, kind of want it on the right. And we don't need the word close. And then the mobile typography. Font size is good. I like where it was. Everything else looks good, really. Spacing. Where's our spacing option? like that on the right. Okay, so that's the mobile menu for now. This is landscape phone view. Can make this a little larger. Let's go to 90. And then the actual mobile menu, can make that 100. We could try to make this a little smaller, and we have to adjust the position of that. So desktop mode, I want to see the open mobile menu open icon. Let's go 36. Margin to the right 0. Makes the logo bigger. Let's see. I don't think we have any other padding. No. And then on open, I want to see that looks a little too close. Alright, this is the close. Where are we? Mobile menu. Close icon layout. In this case, let's make it 80% from 85. And then this can be 80. Perfect. Okay, let's close out of that. Alright, main template, save. Header's done, footer's done. We're going to add some of this other content in here later. This needs to be adjusted. Okay, let's see how that looks. Okay, we'll make some minor adjustments to that. Menu looks good. Can maybe do desktop hover. See what the dark blue hover looks like. That blue is a little hard to read. And this also needs to be larger font weight. So typography, let's make like a 700. 700 might be too big. 600 is the same. Okay, 500. On hover, we can do a transition effect. So we can do transition duration like 0.25 seconds. That looks okay. If we go into advanced effects, transition, ease all, it's creating a CSS property to kind of ease into it. Let's see what happens if we add the transition. There we go. It's a little cleaner, and then go into hover, ease all, so we can get the exit transition to match. So it's a little more of a smoother hover effect. Thinking we get rid of this transition duration. There we go. That's the effect I was looking for. And do a bottom border. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's save that. So this is just the main template. Now we should be able to make more progress with the rest of the build. So let's regenerate CSS. So this is the classes document. Okay. So the classes document. So I'll regenerate CSS. There's the bio. Don't need that. Okay, home about. Let's just create all the pages right now. So new page, we name it the about page. We're going to render using the template, which we have to go back and save actually. Oxygen templates. Let's publish this so we could use it. Okay. It's going to be the home page. About page, render using the main template. So it's going to show us the main template we created, but with the other information, content that we put inside of it. And we have about, classes, about classes, gallery. Gallery is going to be the next one. Render page using the main template. And then the last page is the, well, no, we have two more pages. Contact and then registration. Those are going to be two separate pages. Contact page rendered the main template. So I have the bio there. I can put that off to the side. And then registration. Let's see. Those are for the classes. Oh, sweet. Cool. That was a good text. Actually, I'll just wait a second. All right, so now we need to assign the short codes. This is just some basic Oxygen stuff because we're creating templates and these things need to be, especially like the global colors and everything were created. We just have to make sure that all this stuff is can be found consistently throughout the website without error. So we really just have to do this in the beginning and then every now and then later on. I'm going to go ahead and start installing some plugins we're going to use. I really don't like using plugins. I keep the plugins to an absolute minimum. We do need a contact form, so I use Ninja Forms for that. I haven't had any issues with it. I used to use WP Forms, not a fan, even though it's more popular. So let's get Ninja Forms activated. We need our SEO plugin. I use Rank Math. That's going to be so we can input our meta titles and meta descriptions on every single page, and it'll also track to kind of give us some tips of like what are we missing out on, like what our content length is and all that. So I'm not going to activate this plugin yet. I'm just going to install it. I don't want to activate it because I want to run through it all in one shot. And there's some things that we have to do after tying the domain to our website. So I'm actually not going to activate that. We do need, what else do we need? We really needed the contact form because I'm going to work on the contact form page. That's really it right now. There's some other things. I guess we could just go ahead and install those while we're here. So WP code. Oxygen is not using a theme, so we can't use themes to insert code. So we're going to use WP code, which is more recommended anyways, to insert custom HTML within the header and footer. That's going to be Google Analytics, or any sort of like tracking for any sort of conversions that we want to monitor. This site is going to have a blog, so we're going to activate anti-spam, and I have a license for that, so I'm just going to go ahead and I'm actually just going to enter this in later, so I'll just activate it. I'll enter in the license key later. I think we're ready to get started. I want to make sure I have all of my content I need. So we have the bio, we have the classes. So bio is just going to be under about for now until later, it seems like. I'm just going to close. I do, okay, yeah, I understand that we do want. I don't need the logos anymore. Okay. I'm going to run through some other templates real quick, actually, just to kind of check these things off. So we have our main template. We want to add a 404 template because right now, if we go to the site and then we type in ghost.com/ghost, it's not a thing. It's just showing us this, which we could also make sure that this pulls up our home page. We're going to create a 404 page. It's going to inherit content from our main theme, and we want Oxygen to implement this template with WordPress's 404 sort of catch-all. Like PHP template or whatever. So let's go ahead and activate that. That's pretty easy, straightforward. The website we're creating is mobile responsive. This is not a migration, so we don't need to worry about 301 redirects or anything like that. It's a fresh new website. So let's see, we're going to do our templates, our blog templates. That's going to auto adjust. Okay. Intersection. So already every single page that we create, we get to, as long as it's inheriting from our main template, we don't have to do the header and footer every single time. We just have the inner section where we're just going to click and add that section. We are going to bring in, this is our 404. So just 404, page not found. Center that. Add some text. This page can't be found. And then we can bring in a button to redirect people back to the home page, which is just going to be a slash. Slash is going to bring them right to the home page. Back to home. Button color, we're going to go with the two extremes, the dark blue and then the light blue. The dark blue is going to be a better color for our buttons because Google is looking for contrasting. Sites need to be accessible or have like meet certain accessibility requirements. So putting white on dark is going to give you a better accessibility score. It's best practices for design versus the white on a lighter blue. It's not going to contrast as much, so that's not going to give us as good of a score. So we definitely we can sneak in our blue on hover, but we want it to be dark with our light colors. Otherwise we can do the opposite, but that's not going to look good. Dark on light colors doesn't really look that good. Multitasking. All right. So our margin, get some space in there. This page can't be found. That's pretty small. This could be larger. And then back to home, they click, it's going to bring them back to home. That's pretty much it. And then because it's just text, it's already responsive. We don't have to do anything for the other screen sizes. And now I see that needs to be aligned. I don't think I was looking at that bottom section. So edit this, and I'm going to fix that. So we can have our copyright stuff be center aligned. So we have our 404 template. We're going to go ahead and open that anyways. Yes, it's fine. And we're also going to go into here. This is Pyramid Dance Company. And then we don't have a tagline yet. And I do have the site icon. Okay, so this is the site icon and app icon. And then time zone, New York. And this is all we have to do to center align that. So that's done. Okay. Okay, so for reading, our homepage was displaying our latest post, which we don't have a post template for yet. That's why the site looks like this. So we're going to change it so that our homepage displays our homepage. We can ignore the post page in Oxygen. We don't actually need to have this point to a posts page. The template is going to already kind of work that out once we make it. So let's save that, and then as soon as that saves, we can now refresh the page and we'll see our main template without any content because the home page doesn't have anything in there right now. So let's go to our home page. All these other stuff we already have. We don't have to worry about this. Media, permalinks, privacy, everything else is good. Breeze optimization's fine. I'm going to keep the default posts, categories, and tags in there for now so we can see how that looks as we're creating our post template. And then the media and everything is good. So yeah, everything else is good as far as eliminating some of those basic things that WordPress provides us. All right, so we want home to pull the main template. I don't like how this constantly pops up. I wish there was a way to disable that. There probably is. Okay, so now if we refresh our home page, we can see our main template. And then we actually, that reminds me, we can create our menu. So this is just a preview of what it looks like. It's very smooth transitioning. Just nice and easy to use. It's all going to come together. Let's go to appearances and menus. And we're going to create our main menu. We'll just call it main. And we're going to add all of our pages that we've created so far, except for the registration page. This is going to be shown to the visitors through various call to actions. It's going to be extremely linked throughout the entire website, so we don't have to put it in within the menu. If we do put it in the navigation, it's going to be shown as a button to bring more attention to it. That is our main call to action. So we have home, about, classes. We'll do home, about, probably gallery, then classes, then contact. Maybe. Let's see how that looks. This should automatically inherit from the main menu. There we go. So home, about, classes, gallery, contact. Yeah, I like that. Home, about, classes, gallery, contact. Those are navigation links. We'll have the contact information there. Looks good. The rest of the pages should be already linked to the main template. Cool. So we could go into gallery and start working on that. Actually, I do want to, let's go back to templates. And we just have, we do have to make a blog page. We are going to do some blogs. And let's do, this is going to be our archive template. Inherit from main. We want this to show all categories. And we want it to be connected to our blog post index. And we need to pull in a priority of 5 or at least something greater than 1, just so this can override our other templates in case it, basically we have to like force it to show these things. All right. Okay, so we're going to use that. The social media icons we're going to put under the get in touch. Okay. Bring in a section, bring in our blog posts. So this is why I wanted to keep that blog in there. We could see the different presets that we have for that. This doesn't have an image on there. Newspaper is usually a pretty good one. We could also do list with the image on the left. And then we could have that kind of run down for just kind of updates and things like that. We do want to create a page header. So let's see what our inspiration's using for their page headers. If we go to about. Okay, so yeah, pretty clean, pretty much what I would do. We could change this so it's like a background image, and that can be a parallaxed image or anything, but for now we can kind of could play around with it a little bit, but let's just get the main template done first. This, we do want to pull in the H1 heading. We could actually have this dynamic. It doesn't really matter though, so we'll just, maybe we will do it dynamic so we don't have to redo this every single time. So we're going to make this a reusable template. We'll make it dynamic. It's going to pull in. No, we don't want to make it dynamic. Yeah, because we're going to do different subheadings for SEO. So this is just going to be Dance Studio Blog for SEO purposes, and then let's add a little bit of letter spacing there. I think we can make this larger. Let's go 54. That looks good. All right, Dance Studio Blog. And then we'll bring in our subheading. It's going to be a little bit more descriptive. Let's call it might not be shown on the front end, but the latest stay up to date with Pyramid Dance Company. We can keep it as simple as that at 24. What happened to my music? Okay. Stay up to date with Pyramid Dance Company. Yeah. Alright. Just drop that down to 45, drop this down to 20, and let's go to 36. I think it might actually be fine at 45. Dance Studio Blog. 24 is kind of too small. I want to see something real quick though. Yeah, I think we leave it at 36, despite that being a little off, but it's going to make sense with the rest of the pages. Okay. Alright, Dance Studio Blog. That is good. Blog is done. This is our main archive template. This is also going to pull in. Alright, so I'm going to save this section as page header. Bring in the page header section. That way this can be editable. Does the music keep going away? Oh. So I do want to make this dynamic actually, because this is going to be our archive template. This isn't just for our pages. So this is going to bring in our post archive title. Here we go. Background color, text, everything. Good, cool. So depending on the category title and whatnot, it's going to display the correct header. And this is mobile responsive, so we can go ahead and back out of that. Okay. And then I think we have one more template to make. This is going to be our single post template. Inherit from the main, and we just need to have this apply to our posts. So page header, we want an editable version of that. Add in a section, and then this is going to be dynamic for the post title. Doesn't need to be a link. So text color. So this automatically shows us the post title. Let's make it centered. This can be dance company. This is going to be the post date. Pretty much it for that. Down here, we need, I'm trying to think how we want to format this. So this is all dynamic. It's going to pull everything from the blog. So let's do an image. This should be dynamic. There we go. Data, featured image, which this blog post doesn't have one, so we don't get to see that right now. Trying to think how we want the blog to look. Based on inspiration, I also have, there's one blog that I really like. Yeah, I think we go with that. So we'll have the image, we have the title, we have the date, image, and then we'll bring in content. This can be 18 font and dynamic. Insert data from the post content. That's really it. Might want to do a column, however. Split this into two. Put that information there. Make this 45 margin. And then over here we'll pull in our recent articles. We have a reusable element for that. Actually, this is going to be a simple grid. Oh no, what's going on? That one. Okay, that's good. Query. Default grid layout. That's all fine. Order by date, descending, and how many posts do? 2, 3, 4. Let's do 5. This needs to be full width. With 100%. Let's make that 20. Let's make it 30. No, let's do 25. Don't need the meta. Don't need read more. So I think we take out all of the meta. We don't need the comment. Definitely don't need read more. We can leave comments in there probably. I'm not sure how active the blog would be. Just take out the meta and the read more. Okay, yeah, so that's the blog. Could do comment form. Submit button blue. Text always white. Border radius can be a little bit more modern. The rounded borders. That looks good. And then we want to show our comments. Small margin. Okay. That's looking pretty good. Okay. Just double check responsiveness. That was the last template we had to make. Responsiveness looks pretty good. That's the blog on mobile, which we can actually bring that up to 45. Perfect. So blog post done, 404 templates done, all that stuff's done. Time to do the, start with the gallery. Page header. Our dance studio. Because the gallery is going to contain photos from the classes and of the studio, so our dance studio. Studio facility. I don't know if facility is a good word, not gallery. This is going to be tweaked later on. Keep it like that for now. This is easy because we're just going to do a section and then just do a gallery. Gallery option. I'm going to go back to this. I'm just doing the templates right now. And then all of that's already been added. So it's all starting to come together a little bit. And we're going to keep adding to this website as we go. Gallery contact. Short code, we're going to need that. No way. Once the template layout's done, then I'm going to go through all the content that I have, start plugging that in. Probably update the template just a little bit to match the content. So page header. This is our contact page. So this could just simply be contact us. Get in touch with Pyramid Dance Company. We can do column, split this up into two areas, throw in our short code for our contact form that we're going to kind of customize and design a little bit. Really just need that for now. We're going to have some additional information on the side. So over here we can probably just drop in some heading information. So we have our H1 there, this can be an H2. This can be Pyramid Dance Company. And I almost just like a dark blue for that. Throw in a little bit of space so it can breathe. And then underneath that, we're going to put all of the information that we get later on. Here we'll have address. It's going to be Rochester, New York at least. Let's make that larger. And then we'll put Pyramid Dance Company, come visit us. Let's do, we're going to have a phone number. And email address. All linkable. That's the form. And then this is already going to be responsive. So nothing we need to do there. Contact us, get in touch. It's coming together. Okay. Could also do, let's do this. So address is going to be address, we don't need that there, but phone number. With icon. Bring in the phone. Gotta eliminate the margin here. Re-add it to the div. And then do a little bit of spacing here. Margin and padding doesn't really matter at that point. Let's just copy that. Let's get rid of this. Just a text block. Email address. Get an envelope icon. Let's see what the light blue looks like. Yeah, I like that actually. Too much dark blue. Put some light blue in there. This can be smaller. Cool. Get in touch. Don't want two H2s, so let's make this one an H3. Let's go 32. So we have address, so our location, phone number, all that looks good. Fill out the form below, there's the form. Perfect. Also reverse it, but let's try that for now. So that's also responsive. Take a look at the front end. There's going to be some styling that we got to do. Alright, so one thing for sure, I want to get rid of all of this. People know what the asterisk is. So for display settings, do not show the form, do not hide the form. We want it to be cleared. And then we'll just get rid of all that. Okay. So we have our own information there. I do want to put no, I'm not going to do that. Okay. in Oxygen, we can go to Style Sheets, and then here these are basically custom CSS that we could apply to the entire website. So we're going to call this style sheet just CSS. We could add this in here and then just save. So this is just going to be like some of the default CSS customization options that I like to implement for Ninja Forms. So it's just a little bit cleaner. We want that to be the same blue, which we can grab from our editor. We want the dark blue button. So under CSS, find our button. That's button hover. This is going to be our main button. Hover, we want the blue, the light blue. Let's grab the light blue. Everything else is pretty much good, because by default, Ninja Forms doesn't give you the cursor when you hover. And you saw the buttons were grayed out, so that just doesn't look as good as this. I think that's really it. Name, email, and then message. We probably want phone. We're probably going to want more information, at least phone, so we could do first name, last name. We could split first name, last name, and then email and phone. And then this looks like a little too crammed because we need to add a margin here. And then in our builder name, we're going to go first name, and actually need to enable something. So with Ninja Forms, you have to go to settings, and you have to enable dev mode just to give you the option to create custom fields. I'm going to be adding v3 CAPTCHA later on, so off stream. But this way we could eliminate the amount of bots that are filling out the contact form, which is very frustrating. But yeah, so we have dev mode enabled. Let's go back. Alright, so now we get the display function here. We could say 1/2 first for first name. Add a new option. Last name. Actually, let's make sure we're using the right. So the reason for these specific fields is that Google browsers are capturing this information, so it'll make it a lot easier for people to fill it out. It'll actually autofill for them if they have that setting. So let's just I'm not totally sure that this would have been that field, so let's just delete that, make sure that we have, there we go, the first name field. So 1/2 first required, 1/2 last required. It's going to split it up into 2 columns. And then we want the same thing for name, email, and then phone number. So this is going to be 1/2 first required. And then we're going to add in a phone field, which would autofill for them. One half last. Cool. That looks better. There's not enough information on the side. I think what we want to do, because we don't have a whole lot of information over here, we could put like a Google map here. Let's see something. Another thing we can do, we can make this full. Basically, let's just take this div and let's just take it out of this section. Let's take it out of the column. Let's go full width with it. Center that. You know what? Actually, let's just split this into 3 columns like this. So we'll have our address, name, email, actually I'm going to want to align it like this now. Let's duplicate this because we're going to put an icon for the address now. Alright, because we still have the margins there. We want the margins on the top. So eliminate that, drop it there. Eliminate that, and drop it on top. Change the icon. Let's find a building. Maybe we could find something that's a little closer to... I don't know if I would do music. We'll do building for that. Just do a building icon. Or no, you know what? Let's do the pen. It's marker technically. Okay, address, email, phone. We don't need any of this anymore. This can be an H2. And then let's make that full width. Div. Okay, that's a lot better. Get in touch, please fill out the form below, and then basic contact information at the top, which we'll fill in. And then we have a nice little hovery text box. It reminds us if something is important, but yeah, contact us, get in touch. Beautiful. So the site's a little sterile right now. We're just kind of doing the main layout and making sure that there's like consistency with the branding. We are done with the Ninja Forms builder. First name, last name, email, phone number. We'll figure out what the required fields are for the registration form. For now, I'm actually just going to duplicate this. So we have the contact form. This can be our registration form. And we could probably just duplicate this contact page. So things start to get a lot faster once we start laying down content and creating these templates, and then we're able to kind of like take reusable sections and apply them to some of our new pages. Let's get out of here. As far as responsiveness goes, yeah, everything's still responsive, so we can go ahead and get out of there. This is going to be our default registration form for now. Registration, same exact settings that we have in place. I'll be updating the email actions, and we can get our subscribers added to MailChimp as well, but we're just going to kind of work on the design. So under pages now, we can go into the registration page. Let's go ahead and copy in everything from our contact page. Now let's refresh just to make sure it's in there. Edit with oxygen. This is going to be registration, so let's see what we have for that. We're going to have class information here. We're going to have policies, expectations, tuition, and fees. Okay, so for now, we might have this information kind of on other pages, but let's have this at least be the form we might have all of that in here as well, but so we'll do fill out the, or like what should see, enroll. Do trying to think of the verbiage. What kind of verbiage do we want to work with? We have policies, expectations, tuition, and fees. That's just going to be the content on the page. But the page, we have registration and enroll. Get enrolled. Enroll today at Pyramid Dance Company. Registered for our upcoming, we can say just register. Enroll in our upcoming classes. Please fill out the form below to enroll for our upcoming classes at Pyramid Dance Company. Alright, I think that's good for now. We might want this other information. I'm going to leave all this kind of as it is for now, because we might want to have the contact information up at the top. We could also do this in some other ways. We could get creative with this. For example, I kind of want to just see what this would look like real quick. So if we throw in another div, or actually if we just go full width with this one and eliminate the margin, throw in a border at 12. Instead we want to have our padding set to 12 all around. Then we can go dark blue and then go white with everything. We should just have a white global. Okay. We could go box shadow. We have our dark shadow color already. Duplicate. I might end up doing this on the contact page. Kind of like that. Let's see how that looks. Responsive looks fine, and we need to eliminate the extra white space. Kind of want to eliminate it everywhere. I think that's too much. Let's go 45, 45. Looks good. Let's bring it down a little bit more. 24, 24. Perfect. We could also make that hover animations and all that, but we'll do that later. So here's a registration page with some information. This could all be hover. We could have some photos down here as well. This page is going to have other information for registering. We really want them to kind of commit to registering, so having some photos just large at the bottom, that's going to look nice. This is all going to, right now everything kind of feels like we're focusing a lot on the branding. We want to make sure that we get the branding across the entire website, and then we'll kind of help sell the business a little bit more with some of the nice photos. So that'll kind of give it a little bit more personality, so we're not relying completely on like the colors and font and everything and the kind of energy that we're putting in through there. We could put a lot of energy convey more about the business itself with the photos. And some of the other like personalization we do, so any custom graphics we make for the classes and upcoming schedules. So I think this is good for now. I do want to replicate these buttons in the contact page though. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to do that. So we have the galleries done, contact pages done, registration forms done. As we add more content, we'll start to do more fun things like creating the different columns and sections and bubbles and coloring our divs like we are doing right now with this here. So again, we're going to go full width. We're going to go background color dark blue. Change this to white. And then we set our size and spacing. First we need to eliminate that, and then we said it was 12 all around, I believe. Or did we go 24? If we didn't go 24, we should have gone 24. Advanced borders, 12 would have been there for the borders. Box shadow, we have our dark shadow color. Blur, duplicate, email, phone number. Okay. We also said that this was too large, and then when you go down to here, we dropped it to 24. Perfect. All right, much better. I really want to do hover animations on these. I guess I'll go over that real quick. We're going to do it on the registration page though, because I want to make sure that the padding was set to 24 at least, so those things will be consistent. Oops. Regio. There we go. Okay, yeah, I think that was set to 12, so that's got to be set to 24. I'll go over animations, so we can do a lot of nice things with hover effects in Oxygen. This is all kind of basic Oxygen stuff, but it's very good to know. So, pretty sure that's 12, yeah, so we gotta make that 24, so that way it's consistent. Okay, so for hover effects, we can go to advanced. We want to make sure that our hover transition is a smooth transition, so we're going to ease into this hover effect. Actually, we're going to put this into a class, so all we have to do for the contact page, instead of redoing all this, we just have to make sure we make these the same class. So we're going to call this div hover. I hit save there. Okay. Div hover is going to be the class, so anything we do now, we won't have to redo it all. All we have to do is add that class for that element to inherit all of that. So then now we want to go to hover, make sure we have the same transition, duration, timing function. We want to ease into it, and we want all elements to be eased into. When they do hover it now, so we're going to get the effect of, we have a few different things we can do. One, we can do a negative margin like that, and then so what that looks like is this. So we have a nice like smooth, which I actually kind of like. You could also go scale it out, so we can do instead of that, we can do, instead of a negative 12, we can go transform. This would be another popular option. Scale, and then we can scale this at Probably 1.1. Okay. So it's a little exaggerated, but you get the idea. We could have that sort of effect. I kind of like the up and down because that kind of has like a sort of dance movement versus the kind of like in your face bubbly thing. So let's get rid of that. But there's a lot of different options we can do for hover effects to bring some life to the site so it's not very static. We could also do, when we have like pages that have lots of content on them, we can multitasking. If we have lots of content, then as they scroll, we could do scroll effects. So entrance animations on scroll. 1 second. Okay. All right. So for the div hover effect, I like the negative margin. We're gonna go with that on hover. So get a nice little transition for that. So now all we have to do for here is just type in div hover, and then now we're gonna have this effect with everything. And then we want it to apply here. So let's add div hover class, and then now all of this is gonna give us that little bit of motion. Another thing I want to make sure we have enabled in our global settings, we want our smooth scroll to hash links. So if we have any anchor links on the website, if you click, it'll give us a smooth scroll down instead of like jumping down. We could kind of see that transition. So all these like little things to help bring life and to the website, a little bit of movement. All right, registration page. It's a lot smoother on the front end than it is in the editor, so that's good. And it doesn't look like it really messes with the design because we have one element moving up at a time, so it doesn't pull from the entire page. So that looks good. And then this will all be clickable once we put in the correct information. I like to say that websites should kind of reflect how an app feels. A lot of people are kind of used to the design aesthetics that Apple has put into place, Apple Mac, ISO devices, our apps on our phones, how apps are built. All these things are really kind of like uniform as far as like having these like slight rounded edges, these like little bubbles and that feel like apps that you can click, making things clickable. That's kind of how people's brains are working. You know, people aren't dialed into clicking on, you know, some little like text to in order for like a phone to appear. That's very outdated. So this looks good. Right now we don't have that effect in here, so all we have to do is add the div class that we created. Classes, so we did our registration, gallery, contact. Let's see what content information. So it's going to be a little trickier to do the other pages without content. Let me see what I have. Real quick, we're going to go div hover. That's all we got to do. We don't have to redo all that stuff all over again. So as we're creating some of these elements within our pages, then things get easier to apply. We don't have to, in the beginning we have to kind of create it first, but yeah. So we have the pages, so this one is good. So I think we're good. Let's go this way. All right, we're done with this one. Let's see what content we have. All right, so we have some photos. I'm actually going to go ahead and bring these into the gallery. We do want to rename all the photos, so instead of just the photo saying like image 587, let's do let's give these some names here. just renaming all the files for SEO. Trying to slip in some keywords in there, but also make the images descriptive for what Google's looking for. So just spamming it with keywords isn't really going to help. We want to make sure that the images are descriptive. So we're describing within the file name, which we're going to have replicated in the alt text and everything. So we want to make sure that we're describing kind of loosely what's going on in the image. Think about long tail key phrases. So we have a few images we could add to the gallery. See how that looks. Alright, so with these images imported, I think we can move on from this. Let's go to the gallery. And almost at 2 hours of the build, and then it starts to get a lot quicker after this. Putting in content is going to take a little bit longer, but we have most of the layouts done. The home page is going to be difficult to run the layout when we don't have content, so I'll do the home page last. Starting from the contact and gallery pages, because it's very straightforward. Most of the content is just the contact form. Then what we can do is after we have our inner pages done, after we add the content, then on our home page we can give basically like little sections dedicated to our inner pages. Make sure that everything's interlinked. We want to make sure that every page has an internal link pointing to that page. So here we can just go ahead and add all of our images from our library, which is not all of them. What happened? What happened to our images? Should have more than that. No. It says showing all 11. Where's all our images in? We're missing. Okay, so we have these ones. That and those. That's all we have actually. So we need to bring in these. Okay. So this should be good to refresh. Just missing one more. Don't want the masonry grid, so layout. Just want to go, actually maybe we do want the masonry grid. Images are a lot of different sizes. Yeah, that actually looks great. So we have the images per row. Let's do some hover effects. So on hover, we can do image opacity, and then, no, we want image opacity to be 0.9, and then on hover we get the full image. Maybe even 0.8. So we get a slight contrast. Okay, that looks good. Layout, we want shadow. Really want to get like the shadows between layout captions. Captions, no, we don't need captions to show up. And okay, that looks good. Our gallery and dance studio, our dance studio. Let's call this our gallery. Pyramid Dance Company. Studio. Classes in Studio, I guess. We'll call it that for now. We'll see what the best key phrases are later. Almost done for this setup. So there's lots of content in there. Vision mission about. Okay, so we're good on that. Good on this. Good on this. Good on this. Good on that. Okay, cool. Go ahead and save this information. And that's it. Okay. So then now we have this. We have that information. Okay. All right. This is going to be responsive, so we're good. That's actually kind of small. What I would like to do is duplicate this. Yep. And then this is going to be hidden until we get to probably phone. Then we're going to have it appear. There we go. Yeah. Oh, okay. Then we can change the layout to 2 images at least. I think we'll go with that. Masonry. Wow, this is really kind of giving us a hard time. Okay. Masonry at 2. I'm getting a lot of text right now. I should stream more often. Okay. Why isn't it giving us 2? Okay, there we go. Yeah. And then at that point we can hide our original, so then now for mobile we have just a cleaner. I don't know why that one's changing now, but yeah, this needs to be hidden as well. I don't know why it's being so funky. Yeah, it's not letting us do that. This should be hidden. And it's not supposed to display until we get to here, where it could then display. Alright, let me save, refresh, and see what's going on. I think the CSS is conflicting because there's 2 things that are pulling in the display options. We have the display coming in from the photo gallery, and then we have the CSS version of the display that's coming in from the layout. It might have saved properly, but let's see. So that looks good. That looks good. We move to mobile, and okay, I don't think no, we are seeing. Are we seeing double? We are not seeing double. Okay, so that looks good. Okay, so it did save just fine. All right. The only thing is, though, I want this to be displayed 2 images per row, and that can be a grid or maybe a masonry. There we go. Okay, that should be good. Let's save, refresh, and make sure that it's good. gosh. I think that's all we can do right now. We don't have... Let's make sure to regenerate CSS whenever it prompts us. Home, about, classes. Yeah, this is I don't know why this gallery is acting like this. So that should be display none. This shouldn't be, but this should also be giving us the correct layout. So we have conflicting options here. We have in the primary layout option and then the advanced layout option, and so this is conflicting. That's something I never really noticed with Oxygen. So this needs to be 4 images per row under our layout section. Then this one needs to hide here, which it doesn't. So I want to say display none, and it won't let us. So I think we just have to scrap that. Let's get rid of this. Go back here. Layout masonry. 4 images per row. Drops down to here. I think we're just going to scrap that for now. And then this can be... I think for the images, that's good. Okay. Home, about, vision, mission, philosophy, so we'll have that soon. Classes. We of course need information about the classes for that. A schedule option. So on the classes page, we're going to have that linked to the registration form, which is going to be all over the home page. More information about the dance classes. The gallery we have, so check. Gallery's done, contact page is done, we just need some contact information. Registration page is almost done, we just need the policies, expectations, tuitions, and fees. So I think that's it for now. We have the overall layout done. So in just 2 hours, the little bit distractions and whatnot. You know, we have some of the information here. We have our links, home, about, classes, gallery, contact. We'll put our actual contact information down there. We could probably, you know, put some spacing there, but I really do like the logo. This was provided by the client. We just kind of made some tweaks to it. It looks really good, inverted down here. This feels very professional, especially with this darker blue. It feels kind of, I don't want to say like educational, but it does feel like, it kind of fits in that sort of like environment of being like a professional, like classes, learning. And then what we have is images, which we'll put out throughout the website, that's going to give more of that specific energy about, you know, this is, you know, youth classes and whatnot. So we'll be able to convey more with the images, but the blue is definitely a good color scheme. I like that. So home and about, classes, we just need a little bit more content to work on those. The contact page, gallery registration, everything's good, so it's not bad for a 2-hour session. I think that's gonna be it for now. Basically, yeah, just running through the basics of Oxygen. Go ahead and regenerate that. We created the main template in Oxygen. We also created some additional templates. Our main template's being inherited with every single page that we create. We have our 404 page. So if we type in something wrong, then we can at least get this 404, and then we can go back to home within the same tab. So we have our main page, 404, blog posts, our archive template. We have our reusable template here, so we can see under template types the different options we have. This is our reusable page header template, so we can make sure we have absolute consistency. At the very least, I could probably just add that to the classes and about page, but I'm not too worried about that. So here's kind of like a more overall look of the website, and we have some animations, so columns. We have our page, our sections, columns, some hover animations, and yeah, that's it. Everything's responsive. I think it looks pretty good. All right, I'm gonna log off, and that's it.